She suddenly remembered that the suit her husband was wearing was actually bought by her. This guy really doesn't know what's good for him. Get it off. The pants wouldn't come off. He's a man of status and begged Zion for dignity, but she asked, "Did you ever spare mine?" The group dragged big bags back home, looking like they were moving houses. Just as they got home, the landlord came over, ready to kick them out with a shirt on. They begged for one more week to pay rent, but the landlord chuckled, saying, "Giving you a chance is just more trouble for me." The landlord ruthlessly pushed Zhang and others down. Zion, moved, repaid them by selling her cherished pet. She sold for $1 shocking all rich folks are nuts. Well, rent's paid. But with no customers in the shop, they were bored watching TV, sweltering under the summer heat like they were wrapped in quilts. Even the shows were bizarre. Junkie suddenly got the idea to join a show for shop promotion, but Yuja immediately opposed. "What do we have that's special?" Junkie said he could cry on command, shedding tears in just 10 seconds. It turned out to be quite a sight. Jimpa boasted about his secret weapon, and his feet danced on the keyboard, typing fast enough to blind anyone. Too bad the mouse refused to cooperate. As they got excited, it stopped cramps. Seems they're out of luck. Subtitles. Yuja showed off his special skill of blowing air through his nose. Although it was audible, there were many who did it even better. At that moment, Feng showed up in just shorts, holding a cold Coke, completely oblivious to the sweltering heat. Junkie couldn't help but ask if he wasn't cold, and he turned around, waving it off, saying he didn't feel it. Oh, what a hot-blooded guy. A reporter arrived, wanting to see this legendary cold-blooded animal, and what a scene it was. Junkie led them to the rooftop, where Feng was breezily drinking Coke in the dead of winter. Truly a legendary character. The reporter couldn't help but scrutinize, noticing his lips were quivering, and rushed in for a closer look. Sure enough, his whole body was covered in goosebumps. He's definitely not a serious person. The reporter was skeptical, so Junkie urged Feng to show some of that typical enthusiasm. "Quick, take off your top." "Oh dear." Feng looked a bit shy but boasted shamelessly, "I survived entire winters like this. Not to mention, he never eats. Every meal is ice cream." Talk about a suicide plan. Junkie handed him a huge bowl and told him to indulge, and he was ecstatic about it. He took a few bites, and it was ice cold, more like a water splashing festival. Then they set up a pool and asked if Feng could dive in. The reporter suggested adding some ice cubes for an extra thrill, and Feng was stunned. Whoa. Calm down, don't get too excited or I might have to help you. In this kind of weather, how could anyone just jump in? Don't kid me. The reporter urged him to close his eyes and jump in. Everyone was waiting to see. Feng finally agreed in diving at first. Everyone cheered. What a legend. But after a while, Feng hadn't resurfaced, and concern started to creep in. He was rolling his eyes. What a natural performer. As soon as he showed up, everyone, young and old, was frozen. Everyone panicked, trying to think of a way to rescue him. Junkie worried that Feng couldn't hold on much longer and asked the reporter if they could wrap it up, only to hear him say they needed a close-up of the diving. After Junkie's repeated encouragement, Feng finally jumped in again, and the cheers erupted. However, Feng didn't move. Something was definitely off. Everyone was on edge, ready to faint when he slowly emerged from the water, like a scene from a film in slow motion. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. What a thrilling adventure. But he looked so ridiculous. It was hard to believe he was still alive. He even started coughing, and everyone was laughing so hard they almost fell over. What a scene. Subtitles. And then he added once more. "Can I go now?" He's Yuja's sister Yulin, scolded harshly by Yuja upon arrival. So tragic. Enraged, she left with a sense of grievance, and even Zion couldn't bear to see it. Yuja coldly remarked that her sister was just too outrageous and completely unreliable. Just then, Feng came out to take out the trash and found Yuli sleeping in the rubbish water site. Seizing the moment, she began to play the victim, claiming she had nowhere to go and hadn't eaten for 3 days. Feng awkwardly remembered Yuja saying not to deal with her sister, and hurriedly covered his mouth. Yuli seized the opportunity to latch onto this brainless guy, sharing her misfortune. making a drama queen act worse than a runaway father. It'll always be by your side, never leaving. Just when you think you can't take any more. Just like that, Kaifeng was successfully brainwashed and secretly brought Yuli home, planning to treat her well.